day, students. Welcome to Eko Learners Support for WAEC and NECO candidates. This is literature class. Today we'll be looking at types of poetry. The subtitle is Ballad and Lyrics.
Eko Learners Support, a support program of the Lagos State Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education for WAEC and NECO candidates.
We want to achieve this at the end of this lesson, to be able to define poetry, mention and define types of poetry, mention and define the types of lyric poetry. Type of poetry. There are two types of poetry. We have ballad and lyrics. What is ballad? Ballad is one of the oldest type of poetry. It tells stories of heroic people in songs. It is narrative because it tells story. So it is narrative in nature. It tells love and tragic stories of heroic people in songs. It is full of myth and celebration of legend. The story is always an olden days story and great men whose character is out of this world. We have two types of ballad. Folk ballad. Folk ballad is a traditional ballad. It is always anonymous, no name attached to it. It is unwritten. It is oral, passed down from generation to generation, and it is composed by ordinary people of the society. They are usually recited during festivals and ceremonies. Because it is actually unwritten, it is subject to changes as it is being passed down from generation to generation. Example of folk ballad. We have Ijala, a traditional form of ballad. It is always chanted. Literary ballad is the second type of ballad. It is lyrical ballads. They are written and require skill for composition. Unlike the folk ballad, literary ballad is documented, and because it is documented, it is not subject to change from generation to generation. It remains what it is. The content of literary ballad do not change because they are documented. There is no variation of the folk ballad. Then we have lyrics. That is the second type of ballad. As we have said, the first one is a ballad, and the second one is lyrics. Ballad has two types, folk ballad and literary ballad. Then number two type of poetry is lyrics. Lyrics is a second type of poetry that expresses poet's thoughts, feelings, and emotion. It is written out of inspiration. It's not like ballad. Ballad tells stories. But lyrics is an expression of feelings and emotion. We have type of lyrics. Number one is sonnet. Sonnet is a type of lyric poetry that has 14 lines. It is written in iambic pentameter with rhyme scheme. It is through the rhyme scheme that we can differentiate between the type of sonnet that we have. It is only through their rhyme scheme that we can have their demarcations. The 14 lines are divided into 8 lines known as octave, and the last 6 known as sextet. 6 plus 8 is 14. And in between the octave and sextet, we have volta. The number 9th line in a sonnet is the volta. And this volta is always present in all the 3 types of sonnets that will be discussed here. The 3 common types are differentiated through their rhyme scheme. The first one is Italian or patrician sonnets. From the name, it is obvious that it is an Italian invention. The rhyme scheme, as we have said, that's the only way they can be differentiated. The rhyme scheme of Italian sonnet is A-B-B-A, A-B-B-A, C-D-E, C-D-E. That is 14. A-B-B-A, A-B-B-A, that's the first 8th line, which is octave, and C-D-E, C-D-E, the last 6, which is, and after the 8th, that one that carries the C will be the volta. The second one is Shakespearean sonnet, which is also being referred to as English sonnet. It has 14 lines divided into 3 quatrains. Quatrains are 4-line poems. So we have 3 quatrains, that is 4 lines in 3 places, making 12. Then we have the last 2 couplets, 2 lines that rhymes is the couplet. And a couplet is 4 lines in 3 places and last 2 lines. The rhyme scheme of Shakespearean sonnet is A-B, A-B, C-D, C-D, E-F, E-F, G-G. And you can see the difference between the patrician sonnet and the Shakespearean sonnet. The third one is Spenserian sonnet. It has a similar structure of Shakespearean sonnet. It has 3 quatrains and a couplet, but the difference is the rhyme scheme. His own rhyme scheme is A-B, A-B, B-C, B-C, C-D, C-D, E-E. So that makes the difference between a Spenserian sonnet and a Shakespearean sonnet. Then we have ode. Ode is another type of lyric poetry. It is written in form of a direct address to someone or something that is absent. The prominent device used in ode is apostrophe. So most odes, we always, the device that will be prominent in such poem will be ode, as we are going to see later. Example of ode is Black Woman by Leopold Sédar Senghor and Night by Wole Soyinka. These examples are picked because they are the poems in the prescribed poems for WAEC and NECO. Epic. Epic is another type of lyric poetry. It is narrative poem that tells stories of heroic deeds and great men who are known for their nobility and affluence. The difference between epic and ballad, because ballad too tells stories. The difference is that ballad tells stories in song, but epic tells stories, narrative in a story without putting it in form of a song. The theme of epic is always derived from folk tales and myth, just like the ballad. Example, The Proud King by William Morris is a story of a proud king that was brought down to below the human dignity because of his pride. So it tells a whole lot of story like a novel. Then we have The Journey of the Magi, which is one of the poems that is being studied for WAEC and NECO. Limerick. Limerick is usually written in 5 lines with rhyme scheme of A, B, B, A. They are often funny. They contain just one stanza. I have an example here. Example of a limerick. A fellow jumped off a high wall and had a most terrible fall. He went back to bed with a bomb on his head, and that is why you don't jump off a wall. So we have the rhyme scheme of wall, fall, A, bed, head, B, fall, rhyming with fall and wall and fall, making hay. That is A, B, A, and that is an example of a limerick. Dirge or elegy. Dirge is another type of lyric poetry. It's a poem of lamentation and grief. Dirge is song of lamentation. It is basically used to create sorrowful tones and mood, serving as a reflection of loss, grief, or death. So, dirge is always a song that is prevalent in sorrowful situation. It is always a song of lamentation. Example of dirge, you have Song of the Women of My Land by Omar Sesi Farouk. Then we have assignments. Explore other type of lyrics like lullaby, pastoral, ideal. These are other types that you can actually play, you can actually explore on your own. Thank you for listening. For comments, question, or observation, you can reach us on our social media handle displayed on the screen.
Acing your WAEC and NECO examinations has been made easy by the Lagos State Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education with the Eko Learners Support for WAEC and NECO Candidates television program. Join seasoned teachers as they take you through these core subjects, targeting the exact syllabus of WAEC and NECO. Watch Eko Learners Support for WAEC and NECO candidates through these social media platforms to access more educational content and give their feedback. Eko Learners Support for WAEC and NECO candidates. Pass your examinations with flying colors.